Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Quatum Med podcast. We're extremely excited to be here today and to share phenomenal experiences and knowledge and wisdom and great blessings amongst everyone, and make this podcast be a tremendous healing to everybody out there. Well, I'm very honored today, to have this talented young lady right next to me by the name of Paige.
Hi.
Okay. And Paige, thank you for naturally, being here today. Thank you for, being a part of Quatum Med. And we're really glad to have you here today in the opening of our podcast, and to let all of our listeners know a little bit more about Quatum Med and some of the great things that you can listen and tune into at the Quatum Med podcast. So the first thing, what I wanted to do is naturally I'm introducing you guys to Paige. And Paige, tell everyone a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
Yeah, so I've been in Florida for a few years, but I'm from Chicago and came down to escape the cold and, found Quatum Med probably like 3 or 4 months ago, and then I've been coming here and just really enjoy it. Yeah.
Love it. That's amazing. So tell of our listeners and everyone that's, watching us now, and, you moved here to Florida, like your spiritual journey, where did you go to school at?
Yeah, I went to school at the University of Georgia, so go Bulldogs.
Oh, wow, they won a national championship. You hear that?
Yeah.
All them dogs out there in Athens. I know you guys are barking right about now. You guys should be very happy.
Yeah, it's a great school. But been down here, and really just my spiritual journey has really grown. Found a church just like a couple years ago, and now work there. And so really just trying to grow my relationship with God and spiritually, and that's been kind of the journey lately. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. So, it's always great, when I hear my listeners talking about God and their spiritual journey. And, during this time of COVID and all the things that have been happening, and just the mental stuff that's been happening, just energetically with everyone. And to hear someone who's just, recently a college graduate at UGA, and she's working on her spiritual focus and tapping into, God's divine, Christ-like consciousness. And this is just amazing to hear that, coming from someone like yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yeah, it's been an awesome experience, and just growing in the different, gifts God has and all that.
That's great. So, where do you go to church at?
So I go to Journey Church in Lake Worth, and they have Lake Worth, Florida, and they also have a campus in Boynton Beach. So it's a non-denominational church, and I do the films there for different life change stories and share the stories with the congregation there.
Wow, that's amazing. So you're working at the church as well? Mm-hmm. Wow, that's fantastic. So here we are, she's working at the church and a UGA grad, so she's definitely on her spiritual realm, right? She's on her spiritual journey, which is fantastic. So tell us a little bit, about how you came to your spiritual journey, and you knew you wanted to, to work for either a church, and just tell me, how did that happen? With the COVID and everything else out there, did you want to work for a corporation, Fortune 500? What happened?
Yeah, so at UGA, I studied entertainment and media, so Hollywood was always a big thing that I wanted to go to. And so I moved down to Florida to take a job doing production logistics for a travel show. And obviously when COVID happened, that kind of shut down a lot of things. So I ended up losing my job, and that was in 2020. And I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, was trying to figure it out. I had some different job opportunities open up to move to Atlanta and do film there, but it kind of shut down quickly. And I just kept feeling a call that I didn't want to leave my church, that was something I had found here in Florida. And even though I wasn't super involved, it was just something I felt like I wasn't ready to leave and go take a job elsewhere. So I got involved more with the church, did a group there, a small group, and through that found out about a doing job openings, and I was like, there's no way that they're hiring for film.
Right.
That's like so random to be at a church. And sure enough, I look, and now the 2 jobs listed, film producer was one of them, doing stories and life change, which is something I wanted to do, like a focus on just helping people and sharing their stories. So that was just, I felt called to do that. And after a month of being there, I found out that I had melanoma in my eye. And so it was something that God had just put everything into plan and had brought me to this church. And then was working there. And, while all this other stuff was going on with my eye.
Wow. Wow. That is incredible. So it's amazing to me, like, you hear that and you hear, what she's saying, and her journey is just like, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible to look back at and just see how faithful everything is, and just taking those steps to really enhance my relationship with God and grow spiritually and just be faithful has really just ended in like a lot of blessings, and they just keep coming. So, right now I'm just the stuff with my eye, all the melanoma has been taken out, and I'm just working on healing that. And I've been here going through that healing process at Quatum Med, and just a lot of different things that he's providing in all sorts of aspects of life.
Wow, that's amazing. Guys, I tell people, you hear that walk of faith, and just how, like, God has been moving actually in her life and her spiritual journey, and everything that she wanted to kind of manifest and kind of create, it's all happening for her. So and she's doing that because she has trust, she has faith, and she's meditating, she's praying, and she's doing all these tangible things, even though all the stuff that's happening out here in this matter-based, environment. She's actually taken the initiatives and the steps, and the preparations to just give herself that spiritual foundation and just really constantly grow, which is amazing. Yeah, so that's great. Like, high five for you. You know what I mean? So that's awesome. So as we're going into that, you talk about what you're doing here now in Quatum Med. So why don't you tell all of our listeners here, how did you come into Quatum Med, and what made you make that decision to actually be a part of what Quatum Med has to offer you?
Yeah, well, even just finding stumbling upon the location was really interesting for me, because I live just down the street a ways, and so it is close to me. But I remember I was going out to go to a coffee shop to do some work, and I was not even supposed to come here. I was supposed to go down the road to another town, and my roommate suggested last minute, hey, you should go to this coffee shop. And I was like, okay, I'll go. And I was gonna go a different route where I wouldn't pass this building. And when I was walking out of my house, she texted me saying I should go down the main avenue because I should check out this other place just opened. And I ended up doing that. And I was gonna cross the street to keep walking, and I just felt something, don't cross the street, just keep walking. And so I passed Quatum Med, and there you were standing out there, and you're like, hey, I think I was listening to music, and you stopped me, and you're like, hey, we just opened, you should come try that stuff out. And that's when I kind of told you a little bit about my story. You're like, well, we do healing, and this would be ideal. And you told me some things already, but that's when I just felt that I had passed this for a purpose, that had been in alignment of everything, because I really wasn't supposed to pass Quatum Med. I was supposed to go to a different coffee shop, and I was going to go a different route, and all of it kind of aligned. So, and then just coming here and hearing what you guys do, and it was just so eye-opening that you can just manipulate cells, how to help them heal, and to do the frequency treatment. It was just really cool. And so I think that was something that I had been looking for, different natural ways to do healing. And so when it all just kind of came into play, I was like, well, I want to try this out.
I love it. I love it. So, and that's great. And how that happened was actually truly divine. And that's how the universe works. That's what I tell people. It's like the law of attraction. So, God will actually connect you to the people that you want to be connected to. But you have to understand how to manifest and how to create your own universe. So she knew that she was looking for healing, but she was also listening to that voice. She was listening to her inner spirit within to tap in to understand, hey, you know what? I'm taking a different route today. I'm going to walk this way, and it's going to be okay. Right? Yeah. And, and actually it was okay. So she walked this way. I actually, happened to run into you, and I'm serving my purpose, and we're here at Quatum Med, and I'm saying, hey, you know what? We do have some technology and science here that can help you heal, which is fantastic. and that's what we've done so far. And so far, how many like sessions have you gone through? You know what I mean? And actually, healing and the sound frequency and some of the stuff you've been doing here at Quantum Med.
Yeah, I've probably come to about 10 sessions, I would say, or around there. And yeah, just come in and here for a little bit, and it's really cool. I had no idea of what it was like, but you can just feel it, even just feel different leaving. There's just I feel spiritually so much better leaving. I feel like my spirit's alive, but also just like physically that they'll just last for days. Just the effect it has on my body, I can really tell that everything's feeling, and even just being, I've been in the chiropractic beds and sound frequency and all that going on, and it's crazy that you can like feel different spots of your body. It's just like you can feel like someone's touching you, or you can feel heat, and it's just that's what it's doing. It's healing.
Absolutely, it's fantastic. So, what Paige is kind of like talking about is some of the healing modalities and some of the technologies that we use here at Quantum Med. Some of you have probably listened to or watched the movie Heal. If you've watched the movie Heal, back probably when I had the podcast Quantum Citizens, I had a gentleman on there by the name of Dr. Jeffrey Thompson. Dr. Jeffrey Thompson is one of the most phenomenal, individuals that I've met when it comes to quantum physics and coming up with the inventions and technology of sound tables and healing, etc. And so I actually mentored underneath him, and then got to download and actually listen to God's voice, just like Paige does. And this thing came to me and said, hey, you know what? We need every form of innovative healing in one place, one facility. Okay, and that's kind of like what Quantum Med is. So we have sound vibrational tables, chairs, beds, and we have infrared light therapy that we do as far as the treatment to activate all 144 chakras simultaneously with sound frequency. We have over 296 tracks that are patent tracks, which are designed to actually unlock your body, okay? And you feel all this different frequencies and meditations and touching and healing, like they were saying, that you're feeling, right? And as it's going through your body. So it's designed to uplift, it increases your circulation, your health, your blood circulation, everything, consciousness, giving you clarity, doing healing through frequency, and all these great things. And this is what's happening here, at Quantum Med. The exciting thing, Paige, is that we're actually opening up 63 facilities.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Right?
That's awesome.
Okay, yeah. So this is phenomenal. So this is number 2, and currently we're opening up 14 more locations. And so we're extremely excited about those locations that are actually opening up. And we're currently up to about 75 members who are active, active client base in just a 3-month time period, which is incredible. And every one of them are just like Paige, who come here with these great testimonies and healing of how this experience has been very beneficial to them, and it's leading to referrals and friends. And this is the way, of healing. And this is a beautiful thing. So I'm excited, to have somebody like you, Paige, here, that actually experiences, something like this. So like, what was like, your long-term goals? What are you trying to accomplish, outside just the healing that you had here?
Yeah, I think like long-term goals, with Quantum Med and spiritually and all that. Yeah. For me, I just want to be at a level, to step out in faith and be obedient to what God's calling me to do. And I think, I have to make sure I'm my best version of myself, and I'm not letting anything else hold me back or distract me from being able to step out and do what I'm being called into. I think like finding Quantum Med, I've always experienced kind of like confidence issues or just, issues, really just trusting what I'm hearing. And I think just even being here and the work I'm doing elsewhere as well, it's taking away that, that fear and really just jumping to that confidence. And I remember even being here in Sky, who works here, saying like, hey, we just unlocked the chakra that, it was like really affecting your self-worth and and your ability to discern. And so we were like, I unlocked that here with you. And so just like taking those steps and being here, I can feel that in other areas of my life. And so it's not even just physical healing, but just healing of the mind and emotion and different trauma that's taken place. And I think that's my goal overall, is just get to a place where all that continues to come off. And so I can really just step out and help other people do the same.
Oh, that's amazing. Man, when I hear that, I just get so pumped up. Because number one is that it's, the relationship of healing is actually taking place, but it's everyone, allowing to move in spirit to be able to, heal. Okay. And allowing ourselves to share our wisdom, our knowledge, and our spiritual gifts with others on their spiritual journey. Whether that be, from a conscious standpoint, elevating consciousness, or conscious, more Christ-like consciousness, and then getting her to understand truth. One of the things that she, mentioned, which is very important, it's a very important topic for, a lot of people actually to really, realize, is that fear is an illusion, okay? And every one of you guys out there are masters, okay? But a master never chases an illusion. They seek truth, right? So fear doesn't exist. It's actually an illusion that's put into your consciousness, okay? Just like when they put COVID or anything else, like it's in your consciousness, it's fear, but you're a pilot-like being. So because of that, your existence is a pure light vessel. 96% of your body is frequency, your quantum. And so 4% of your bodies matter. So in this, if anyone is listening to this, I want you to understand that there's nothing that you cannot do yourself to heal your body. Okay? So as long as you work within the spirit and understand that in this proactive energy realm, there's nothing, okay, that you cannot do. You can heal yourself. You can heal your eye. Okay? You can heal your heart. Okay? You can heal yourself from depression. You can heal yourself from anxiety. You can heal yourself from sleep disorders. You can heal your lower back. You can heal. Okay? So in understanding that, you know what I mean, the purpose behind, this and Quantum Med is letting individuals know that, listen, okay, you are this pilot-like being of creative consciousness. You can do anything you want to do in life, right? You can heal yourself, okay, with your mind, body, and soul, right? Okay, so understanding the spiritual, but you need to surround yourself around those people, like-minded, Christ-like people, okay, and people who understand, okay, that, hey, we're here to share love. God is love. Abba is love, okay, and we're all love. And we're all love. We're all loving people. So because we're all loving, we want to tap into this innovation of just like this divine loving consciousness to love one another, not to be blinded by what we hear, what we listen to, and what we see. You program that from your consciousness, okay? Because that's putting fear, it's putting doubt, it's putting, all these different things that doesn't matter. It's matter-based systems, matter-based laws. Remember what I said then. Everything on earth here is matter. It doesn't matter. Okay? You know what I mean? Focus on the consciousness and the quantum within you, right? So awaken your quantum. Tap into the divine light and allow spirit to work through you. And then as the Holy Spirit works through you, you're able to tap into this innovation of miracles and healing that happens. Because nothing but like people like this UGA graduate, okay, who's coming here, right? They're national champions now, so I have to like give her their high fives. It's been like 49 years, so we got to give them their high five. And but she's doing her journey, okay? She's taking the initiative to understand, hey, you know what? I'm keeping my faith. I'm not doing the things that other people want me to do. I'm controlling my own frequency. Okay? Now that's very important. When we think about that, we're talking about frequency, right? So, Paige, every one of us has our own frequency. You have your frequency, and I have mine. But you have a gift that I don't have, and I have a gift that you don't have. But what we're doing is we're sharing, right? So that connectivity of sharing, which is so important, right? So we have to be able to share, okay, your spiritual gift that you have with others, and understand exactly what that is, right? So, Paige, what's your spiritual gift?
Oh man. Well, I've been working on my spiritual gift of discernment and working on that, and I think that's pretty much the main focus right now. But there's, you know, hopefully a gift of knowledge as well. Sometimes whenever God chooses to grant me with that. But,
Right.
yeah.
Absolutely. So the beautiful thing, what she said is, that spiritual gift of discernment, right? So every one of you guys have that spiritual gift. You have that within, that gift of, discernment. But some of you don't listen. You don't listen. And by not listening, you don't have an understanding. Okay, then you're lacking connection because you can't listen. If you don't listen, you can't understand. If you can't understand, then you're not going to have a connection. And then you can't get navigated. You can't drive. Okay? You need to take Uber. Okay? But we can't take Uber, you know what I mean, to the kingdom. you know, we can't do that. So because we are pilot lights, you know what I mean, there's no Uber, we could like Paige and call Uber real quick, you know what I mean? We just can't do that. So as we tap in, naturally to this, this gift, to this like these spiritual gifts that are happening within, okay, you're gifted. You are all gifted out there. Everyone who's listening, you're gifted. You have a gift. Regardless of what someone tells you, you have a gift. Don't ever let anyone tell you anything differently. There's nothing that you can't do. There's nothing that you can't create. There's nothing that you can't manifest. You can do it all. Okay? So don't allow individuals of ego to put you in a position, okay, or to categorize you, to judge you, okay, and put you somewhere that you don't belong. And you know you don't belong there because you're not on their frequency, you're on your own frequency. And you have been chosen to create. So there's some of you, who are listening, and some of the listeners out there who might be stuck and they might be struggling, you know what I mean, with like depression, right? And, and how do I get out of this funk? How do I get out of depression? What would you tell someone, if you heard, what we're talking about and your experience here at Quatum Med, how would you get out of depression? What would you tell them?
Yeah, I think you have to look at one that you have control over, that you can start to seek different opportunities to really surround yourself with the right things. So I think for me, like I struggled with anxiety, but just realizing that you really are who you surround yourself with, in the context that you're putting into your mind, like what you watch and what you listen to, and just taking those steps to, hey, I want to surround myself with these types of people because I want to be like them, and just stuff that is going to be positive influences to your life that can really speak life into you and pour into you in the right ways. But also, like, what are you watching? What are you listening to? That's also what books are you reading? Because I hate to read. I had to force myself to figure out audiobooks just because I needed, wisdom that was constantly being poured into me. And so figuring out like, hey, where do you want to grow? Because it's possible if you let go of whatever fear or whatever is holding you back, and it's difficult. It's small steps, and it's not looking at the big goal as a whole and being, I can't get there, because it's little moments that you just have to take. Just again, how you're spending your day and what you're thinking about and what you're allowing yourself to think about, and it's those small steps that will eventually get you to where you want to go. But it's not getting scared of the big goal of, hey, it's like black or white. But it's just being faithful and taking those small steps, and that healing will take place. And it's difficult because inner healing takes a long time, and it's just being faithful to continue to take steps to heal, and knowing that you can do it and you don't have to stay in that rut, that you have the possibility to change and not live that life that you don't want to, that's all in your power if you seek the right things.
Absolutely. And that is beautiful, and that is very very powerful, Paige, and thank you, actually for like sharing that. And if all you listeners just heard what she was saying from a wisdom standpoint, you can change. You have the power within you to change anything or any circumstance that you're in. Okay? If you're in a relationship that doesn't serve you, leave. Okay? Get out of it. Run for the border. Okay? Get you somewhere free of yourself where you don't have to be underneath that bondage. You don't have to be underneath that. Okay? So what I'll share with you is this. Okay? You don't need to be any type of frequency, any type of bondage like that whatsoever, right? Okay, so you know, what I mean, one of the other things that you could, is very important that everyone understands is that when we talk about you know depression, right, and you talk about like anxiety, you talk about all these different things. Um, you can do it. Okay, you know, you're loved. Okay, you have people, guides that love you. The angels love you. God loves you. Okay, God is love. Okay, so depression, okay, get rid of it. Don't speak it into your existence. Release that from your throat chakra and say, I am strong and I am not depressed and I am healed. Okay, and when you say that and you speak that truth among yourself, then that's what's going to happen. Okay, you can read books. Okay, meditation, consciousness, all the things that we offer here in wellness, right? To actually get yourself to that realm, to get yourself out of whatever situation that you might be, so you can gain that knowledge and that wisdom. Okay, I'm going to give someone a quick point. What I do, naturally, as being a celebrity conscious coach, one of the things that I focus on is like literally, I tell everyone this one meditation, the out of a core prayer. Okay, I do every day. All right, I do the 72 names of God every day. Okay, and then I do the Course of Miracles every day, and I read a lesson, and I hold all my clients accountable for that, and I have them do the same thing. Okay, and the reason why that is because it's disciplining you, okay, to stay rooted in your call and your spirit, right? And then also it's disciplining you to get yourself to that next level, right? Okay, of consciousness. Consciousness comes from knowledge, wisdom, and all these great things that you can actually get, right? Okay, so when the spirit moves through you, Paige, how do you feel?
Oh man, it's different. It feels alive. It feels happy. It's because the fruits of the spirit are joy and peace. And so when you feel it alive in you, you feel all of that, and none of that fear or and none of that is part of the spirit. So the spirit's the opposite. That's what you feel inside when you feel it.
Fantastic. Listen, I'm jumping. I'm getting goosebumps when she starts talking there, guys. Okay. When she's talking about the spirit, I mean, the spirit works like that. And, when the spirit goes within you, the Holy Spirit happens. It's a feeling that you have, which is an abundant feeling like no other, that you are not alone. Okay. And I want to share this with people. There's some people out there right now, I know, that's listening, and I know you think you're alone, but you're not alone. Okay. We're praying for you. Okay, all these other people out here in this world, and spiritual warriors are praying for you, that let you know that you're never alone. Okay, this is our time. Okay, and this is the kingdom time, what we call it, right? Okay, this is 2022. This is the year of the abundance. Okay, and this is the year for abundance on everyone that's out there that's listening. Okay, may abundance happen in all of your lives in every aspect. I'm nothing but wishing nothing but abundance to every one of you, including Paige here, and healing to all those who need healing, and continuous learning to all those who need continuous learning, and people who need clarity, focus, whatever it might be. Okay, whatever your goals are set out to be, just understand, you're here with a purpose and a creative gift. Okay, and that creative gift, Paige, what people don't realize is that you came into this world as a pilot light. Can you imagine that? Like you came from the universe. Beam me up, right? Okay, which is great. So when you come into this existence, right, you already came in here with like all these different things that you needed to accomplish in this realm. Okay? And then we say, all right, how do we accomplish these things? And I'm here. I'm here now, right? I chose my mom and dad. Okay? And now I'm here. So now she's going into her creative state of consciousness, all the things that she wants to do and manifest. And Paige, how old are you?
I'm 26.
She's 26 years old. Okay? So as you can see that, she's 26 with the life all ahead of her. Just long longevity. She talked to you about the experience that she had in her eye, and then the healing and the journey, okay, that she had at 26 years of age, how she's been able to overcome it, and it's no longer in your eye. Is that correct?
No longer there.
Did you hear that? Okay, so the Holy Spirit and this intervention of divine healing and all these great things have worked for her. The Holy Spirit has worked for her. Okay, God's grace and mercy has healed her. Quantum Med is helping her heal and helped heal her as well. So everything is all happening in alignment to help her grow even more so in abundance spiritually, not just so that she just comes into her own realm, guys, but so she can go out and help the next person and her friends or anyone who might come to her who needs healing. So we're all serving our purpose. What I believe that we've gotten away from so much is community, right? Okay, so in community, guys, we have to like understand we're all here. It takes a village, okay? A village. It takes a nation, a global world to raise, okay, our young chosen generation. And we can't do it the way we've been doing it. So you have to change, okay? You have to change your mindset. You have to get a better consciousness. You have to get rid of your ego. You have to understand that you're living and speaking in the Spirit. The Spirit is love. Communicate with someone with love and lose your ego and see how far that gets you in life. In abundance. All the things that are happening in the world, today. What do you think about some of the things that are happening right now in the world today?
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, it's just division and anger is running rampant, and it's really sad to see that happen because at the end of the day, I mean, we want to spread love, and we're not entitled to that anger, we're not entitled to that fear, and so really it's just sad to watch sometimes. And so I think we just remember that there's always more room for love and kindness in this world, and that's what's going to bring us together. So no matter if someone's opinion is different than yours, or we need to come together and figure it out, because having that hate and staying on whatever side of the spectrum you are, that's not going to do anything good for us or your kids or the future of the world. So I think just reminding yourself that there's always room to just talk it out and to not hate each other, but to really just find appreciation for the differences that we have as well.
Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly with what you just said there. That was like just amazing how you just process that, Paige. When we talk about, which Paige just mentioned, right? Hate, okay? Hate is dark energy, okay? Get rid of it. Get it out of your vocabulary. Get it out of your consciousness. Yes, I know you've seen all types of movies all about hate, shooting, killing, and everything else you can imagine. And the media will never take accountability for what they've done. Okay, but that's okay. All right? But what we're talking about right now is that it's not about that. It's about love. Okay? It's about loving each other as a universe, okay, consciously. Okay? Not creating division, because in actuality, race doesn't exist. Okay, and it's illusion. Okay, if 96% of your body is vibration and 4% of your body is matter, who created race? Think about that for a second, right? Who said that I'm black?
No idea.
I have no idea either. Like, you know what I mean? Just because the color of your skin, okay, it means nothing. You know what I mean, guys? You know what I'm saying? So, like, what happens is so many people are categorizing people and hating people for matter base, 4% of you, okay? When in actuality, 96% of you is quantum, your frequency, your vibration. We're all the same DNA. We're all connected, right? And we're all connected to the Creator. So because of that, we must, love one another no matter what our differences are. We can agree to disagree, but we don't have to be violent. We don't have to use reactive energy, okay? So just to give you some history quickly, do you know that there's only 2 different energies in the universe, right? So it's reactive energy or proactive energy. So reactive energy is dark energy. That's like the hate and everything else that people have, judgmental, you know what I mean? Getting reactive, like blocking somebody from your Instagram or your TikTok, right? You know what I mean? All this reactive energy is just crazy. So then we have like this proactive energy, which is all love and light, right? Where, hey, I like you, I love you. You're liking someone on TikTok, you're loving them. You're like, hey, you know what I mean? It's all love. You know what I mean? Keep doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? Keep supporting what you're doing. So this is what it's all about. Okay? So unfortunately, we've had things that have happened in turmoil, and hopefully I thought COVID would people a lesson like, hey, listen, when everyone's at home and you can't go outside to play, who else do you have to turn to?
The Lord.
Exactly, right? So hopefully, you know what I mean, you guys got that message, you know what I mean, while you're there at home, like, hey guys, me and you, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, what's up? What do I need to do today? To read a book, let me get some knowledge, get some wisdom, work on my spiritual journey, let's journal, let's write, let's create, okay, let's use your spiritual gift, let's tap in. So, these are all the things, you know what I mean, that, some of the lessons that should have been learned from that. But also as we continuously move forward, is that we have to move forward with positive impact, right? Transformation. You are transforming, okay? And it's incredible watching your transformation. So what we want with everyone that we meet and we come in contact with, we're going to transform. Either you're going to help me transform, you're going to help me evolve, you're going to make me learn more about some of the things that we're doing, and I'm learning more about you, and we're sharing. So sharing is caring. You know what I mean? Sharing, caring, right?
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? We just don't share too much, okay? There's limits to sharing, all right? So don't get carried away with that. Don't take that out of context for all the people listening out there, right? Okay. So, as we tap into that, we understand what that means, right? Okay, good. So if you guys have not heard what Paige talking about, we talked about a couple topics. We talked about the healing things, what's happening here, her journey, her spiritual journey. We talked about how she just came with depression, how, her recommendation of how to overcome, depression. We talked about, society and how things are and how we should not, hate. We should all just be loving one another. And that, we have differences, respect the differences and move on. Okay, there's so many people, you know what I mean? You might not get along with someone outside of your tribe. I'm a Leo, okay, but I love all my Leos, but I love every people in the other tribes too. You know what I mean? So like we gotta love and appreciate everyone, but we don't have to, you know what I mean, agree. Okay, you can agree to disagree, right? So if you agree to disagree, okay, you don't have to bash anyone. You don't have to, talk about them, in a negative way or anything of that nature, or condemn them and judge them, because that's not your assignment. Okay, right? Okay, so like, people kill me when they try to do that. They're like, oh man, what's going on? Like, I'm judging this person is this. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I don't even understand the language they're speaking, right? Okay, because they're talking like an ego. So like ego and spirit don't know each other. It's a different language. The universal language is love, right? Okay, so it's spirit. Speaking in spirit and speaking truth in spirit is a universal language. Anything outside of that is ego based. So they don't understand each other. So I'll say this real quick. If you're in a relationship and one person's in ego and one person's in spirit, you're not getting along. Okay? And because you're not going to ever get along because one person's in ego and the other person's in spirit. So because we understand that, we have to get this great communication and bond and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to put my ego away, put it aside, and I'm going to talk to you in spirit. And as we talk in the spirit, what happens? Love. And nothing but creative sharing.
And that's where you get growth. And that's what allows for other people to grow.
That's it. You hear that? So growth happens in the spirit because other people are going to be growing and you're going to share this and you're going to love, right? So funny thing with Paige, when I grabbed Paige and she came in here and I was like, wow, I was super excited that you came in, and then we were able to get the treatment. So what happened was, you know what I mean? She was actually open, okay, to the actual treatment, okay? So because of the simple fact that she was actually open and she was open to the treatment, she unlocked another thing that she didn't know about. She expanded knowledge, wisdom, another healing that she didn't even know about. So you don't have to be so closed off and guarded when someone comes and approaches you in the spirit. Entertain it. Take 2 seconds to listen. Okay? They won't hurt you. All right? So, wow. So this has been like totally amazing. You know what I mean? Like having you on, you know what I mean, the show here at Quatum Med. And, listening to all of our listeners out there. And so they know a little bit, about what we do. Next time we'll give you like actually a tour, of the facility. Like I said, we're opening up 14 facilities here in this one state, and we're doing 63, okay, across the country. So we are franchising. It is phenomenal. We just actually acquired a hotel we're actually doing for our veterans. And so this is extremely exciting. So the veterans are actually going to go and be treated for post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, anxiety, lower back pain, upper back pain. They'll be able to experience different forms of yoga, breathing, infrared light therapy, and then consciousness coaching, which we call as life coaching. We call it consciousness coaching here at Quantum Med because you have to have a high consciousness, right, to enjoy a great life. So, and that's the process. So what we want to do is like really, at this time, normally we have like questions, for all of our listeners. They'll call in and they're feel free. You're more than welcome to call in to 561-270-2127. If any of you have any questions, naturally, if you want to call in live, ask something, feel free. We're always here for you. Anyone that's actually going through any form of healing that they might need, even if we are not the right, group, we have strategic alliances. We have an orthopedic practice, which is, here as well, which is done by Dr. Patrick. And so we're all about, this innovative way of healing, and getting into this next journey. We've had all types of athletes, that have utilized our facilities, and we're really excited, to just expand this out to the world and the universe.
Yeah, sounds like some awesome things are happening.
Yeah, some awesome things are happening. As long as we keep meeting awesome people like you, Paige, the place is going to be a better place, right? Yeah, awesome. Well, listen, at this particular time, we want to thank, naturally all of our listeners. Paige, you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that's it. But you guys should really, if you haven't come already, you guys should check it out. Awesome things are happening here.
Okay, fantastic. So listen, we want to take this time and thank all of our listeners right here at Quantum Med, and we want to thank you so kindly. We'll see you guys next Friday. Every Friday, we're going to be here at 4 p.m. Okay, we're going to give you some phenomenal knowledge and wisdom, anything you want to know about sound, vibrational therapy, frequency, etc., and getting yourself to that next level of consciousness. So at this particular time, we want to thank you all so kindly, and thank all of our listeners out here at Quantum Med, and we'll let you guys know we love you. Divine love and light, and blessings to all. Healings to every one of you guys. Blessings, and God bless you all.